Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elle and today I'm going to be doing a really fun video where I talk about books I thought I love but I ended up hating or not liking. I do want to give a little disclaimer that if you like any of these books, amazing to you, and I'm so happy that you found a book that you loved, but when I'm talking about these books, I'm not saying like I hated them. I feel like hate is a really strong word. Maybe just more like not liked or wasn't the right fit for me. But if you love these, good for you, and no hate to anybody who loved any of these books. So with that out of the way, let's get right into my list. The first book I want to talk about is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. So when this book was, when Sophie was marketing this book and branding it and she was like doing chronicles, I think on TikTok, of her writing this book. I was so excited for this book. I was dying over all of the little snippets we were seeing, and I just could not wait to read this book. And when it released on release day, it took me like 3 days to get through the first 100 pages, and I think a week to get through this book. This book is very long, and I think the reason why I didn't love it was that I had super high expectations of this being a fantasy romance with an Anastasia retelling vibe, and I kind of felt a little disappointed because I did feel like it was very reminiscent of Anastasia the story, and I know that Sophie did a ton of work putting in correct information, historically accurate information, which I really appreciated, and I did love that aspect of this book and the world building. I just felt like the romance got a little sidelined, but I did really love all of the world building and the time and effort she put into creating this book and this story with this family. I felt like it was definitely more of a fantasy romance than a romance. I mean, no, it's a fantasy book instead of a romance, sorry. And yeah, I just felt like the romance was a little sidelined. This is a fantasy retelling of Anastasia. And I did enjoy parts of this book, but I just didn't love it as a whole. So yeah, that's why I didn't love this one as much as I thought I was going to. Okay, so the next books I'm going to talk about, is If This Is Love by Julianne. So I had read, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called now, a different Julianne book. I'll put it up on the screen. I absolutely love that one. I listened to it on audio, and so I was really excited for this one. A lot of my friends have loved this one. This one is an age gap. I think it's forbidden. The hero is basically it's kind of a little bit like, not Yellowstone, but like has kind of the vibes. It's a dark cowboy romance. The heroine is the daughter of like the owner of the ranch, and the hero is like the cowboy that like works there, but he's also like the right-hand man of her father. And because of a business deal, and he owes her father something because I think her father did like a favor for him or something, he has to marry her cousin who she hates. And they decided to kind of have a relationship before he gets married, I guess. But I ended up DNFing this one. I just did not feel the attraction between the both of them. I felt like the beginning was very like fast, like of them meeting and when she's younger, and not really like feeling like a connection between them. And so that's why I think I didn't love the beginning of it, and then I just felt like I just didn't feel a connection, and I didn't really like the hero. Yeah, so that's why this one wasn't really for me, but I do really want to try out more of Julianne's backlist because I really did love that one book I read from her. So definitely down below let me know your favorite Julianne books because I would love to know. Next book I'm going to talk about is Bewitched by Thalassa. I should have DNF'd this book sooner than I did, but I just hated this book. I really did not like this book. When she was like marketing this book, Thalassa, it made it seem like this was going to be a fantasy world, not an urban fantasy world. So maybe that was my mistake. I didn't read the synopsis again, but it's basically about this girl who is a witch, and she wants to be a part of this like coven and this academy, but her superpower, or her power that she has, makes her forget her memories when she uses it. And so she goes on this trip to like Costa Rica, I think, or South America. And she basically awakens this old god or sorcerer, and he like follows her, and she goes back to like the Covenant, gets into the academy. And then people start dying at this academy, and she's gonna be blamed for it. And I just really did not like this. Some of the reasons I did not like this was because I felt like I did really like the romance between them, but I hated the plot. It just was really boring, and I felt like stuff was really drawn out, not very fleshed out, and I just really didn't enjoy this one. I was really disappointed because I really do love Laura Thalassa's writing, and I've really enjoyed her past books, but for me this just didn't hit right, and I just didn't enjoy it. Next book I'm going to talk about is Even If It Hurts by Sam Mariano. I know this is so many people's favorite book, and I did love Untouchable by Sam Mariano, but I just didn't love this one. I felt like this book was really, really long, and I just remember like trudging through it, being okay, this happened, and okay, that happened, just not really enthralled with the story. This is a dark bully romance. He kind of gets obsessed with her, and he kind of manipulates her life so that she will be with him. It's set in high school. So yeah, I remember reading it on my Kindle, and just like not loving it. Felt like it was really long, just not my favorite from Sam Mariano, so it was a miss for me. But I am very excited to read more from Sam Mariano because I did love Untouchable. It's like one of my favorite books ever. It's so, so good. But this just didn't hit right for me, and that's okay. The next book I'm going to talk about is No Tomorrow by Karen Cole. So I remember reading like the first 100 pages of this book and really, really liking it. This is a like a long, like love spanning a long time, rock star romance, second chance. So I remember really liking this in the beginning, like when they first met. But then once he became like a rock star and kind of left her in the lurch, I was like, oh, okay, I don't really love this. I think if I had read it at a different time and maybe like kept reading, I would have liked it more, but I just didn't love it. And it just wasn't for me. I have read other books by Karen Cole that I really, really like. What's the other one? It's called I think it's like Don't Kiss the Bride. I really like that one, but just this one wasn't for me. But I did really like the beginning of this book, especially there's this one scene in it, if you know, you know, where they, do have like a spicy scene. I think it's like under a bridge or something, and it's really, really hot. Like I still think about it to this day. But yeah, so the next book I'm going to talk about, and the last book I'm going to talk about, is Say You'll Stay by Corinne Michaels. I think it was Corinne Michaels. This is a second chance, very emotional romance. I just remember not really liking the writing at the beginning of this book, just not feeling a good vibe, but maybe it was like wrong timing for me to read this book, but I just wasn't vibing with it. I think in the beginning she loses her husband, and then she like moves to the small town and meets the hero, but I think I just DNF'd it like the first couple of pages, or first like maybe 50 pages. I don't know, I just remember not really liking it. I don't even remember what it's about, but I just wanted to put on this list to chat about it. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on some books that I thought I would love but didn't end up liking. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.